Every day, millions of people open YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram and start scrolling through motivational content. A clip of someone shouting about hustle, a dramatic speech set to background music, a highlight reel of celebrities and athletes telling you to never quit. It feels exciting. It feels powerful. But here's the truth. Watching motivational videos every day is not changing your life. In fact, it might be holding you back. Let's talk about why. Motivational content is designed to give you a rush. It's like fast food for your brain. Quick, tasty, satisfying in the moment, but not something you can live on. You watch a 10-minute speech, you feel like you're ready to conquer the world. But then an hour later, you're back on the couch, scrolling for the next hit. It's not motivation anymore. It's entertainment dressed up as productivity, and the cycle keeps repeating. You feel stuck in life. You open another video. The video tells you to take action. You feel inspired for a few minutes, but then you don't act. That lack of action makes you feel guilty. So you search for more motivation to cover up the guilt. Over time, you're not moving forward. You're just keeping yourself busy with inspiration. Think about how gyms work in January. Every new year, people flood into gyms fired up by motivational resolutions. They buy memberships, new clothes, fancy water bottles. But by February, most of them are gone. Why? Because motivation is enough to start, but not enough to sustain. And yet every year the cycle repeats. People mistake the feeling of inspiration for the act of transformation. Here's a story that might sound familiar. A guy named Ethan used to watch motivational videos every night before bed. He told himself it was his ritual to stay focused. He'd listen to speeches about waking up early, hustling hard, grinding while others sleep. But when morning came, Ethan kept hitting snooze. He was motivated at midnight but powerless at 6 a.m. After months of this, nothing in his life had changed. What Ethan didn't realize was that he was using motivational content as a substitute for real action. It was easier to watch someone else talk about discipline than to practice discipline himself. This is how the industry profits off you. The more you consume without acting, the more you feel like something is missing, and the more you come back for another video. Content creators know this. They make the speeches short, emotional, and addictive. They mix in cinematic music and powerful visuals so you feel like you're in the middle of a movie. And just like that, you're hooked. But your actual life? Still the same. Now, don't get me wrong. Motivation has its place. A good video can spark something inside you. It can remind you that change is possible. But sparks are not fire. If you don't feed the spark with real effort, it dies out. The problem isn't that people watch motivational videos. The problem is that they stop there. They confuse inspiration with progress. And here's the scary part. The more you rely on external motivation, the weaker your internal drive becomes. You start believing you need to hear someone else yelling at you just to get moving. You stop trusting your own ability to push yourself. In other words, you outsource your discipline. That's why so many people watch hours of motivational content, but still procrastinate on the things that matter. If this sounds harsh, it's because it needs to be said. The self-help industry thrives on keeping you inspired but stuck. Because as long as you're stuck, you'll keep clicking, you'll keep watching, you'll keep coming back for more. It's not about your growth, it's about their views. But there's a way out of this cycle. The answer isn't to stop watching motivation altogether. It's to change how you use it. Motivation should be the spark, not the fuel. Watch a video, feel the spark, and then immediately anchor it to action. If you hear a speech about discipline, don't just nod your head. Close the video and practice one act of discipline right away. Clean your desk. Do a workout. Send that email you've been avoiding. Anchor the feeling to something real, or it will fade. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Consistency beats motivation every single time. The person who shows up daily, even without feeling inspired, will always outperform the person who only acts when they're motivated. Motivation is emotional. Consistency is mechanical. And in the long run, mechanics always win. So the next time you're about to click on another motivational video, stop and ask yourself, am I looking for entertainment or am I looking for change? Because the two are not the same. Entertainment makes you feel good. Change makes you feel uncomfortable at first, but it actually moves your life forward. If you're stuck in this endless loop, remember this. You don't need more motivation. You need more action. You don't need to listen to someone else's story for the 100th time. You need to start writing your own. And that's what Unhyped is all about. Cutting through the hype, breaking the cycle, and reminding you that success doesn't come from watching another video. It comes from doing the work when no one's watching. Most people don't even realize they're trapped in this cycle because it feels productive. You finish watching a motivational video and you feel like you've accomplished something. Your brain gets a little dopamine hit, the same way it does when you check social media notifications. That's why it feels satisfying. But satisfaction is not the same as progress. Watching someone else talk about success doesn't mean you've taken a single step toward your own. This is where the exploitation comes in. Content creators know their audience is addicted to the feeling of progress, not the reality of it. They package their videos to maximize the high. That's why so many motivational channels recycle the same quotes, the same speeches, even the same background music. They don't need to give you anything new. They just need to trigger the same emotional reaction. And the audience keeps coming back, hungry for that feeling. It's like eating empty calories. You're full, but you're not nourished. Here's the hard truth. If you're still in the same place you were 6 months ago, despite watching hours of motivational content, the problem isn't lack of motivation. The problem is lack of execution. You've been outsourcing your drive instead of building it. Real progress is boring compared to a motivational video. It's waking up early when you don't feel like it. It's practicing the same skill for the 100th time. It's showing up on days when no one's cheering you on. That's why it's so tempting to keep watching videos instead. They make growth look exciting, even though real growth is repetitive and unglamorous. Think about it. No one makes motivational videos about doing laundry, paying bills on time, or writing that 5th draft of an essay. But those small, boring tasks are what actually build discipline. Without discipline in the mundane, you'll never have discipline for the extraordinary. That's the part the motivational industry never shows you because it doesn't sell. Who's going to click on a video called "Fold Your Clothes and Change Your Life"? But the reality is, those little habits matter more than listening to someone else tell you to hustle. Let me give you another story. Daniel was obsessed with watching motivational content. Every morning, he blasted speeches from his phone while getting ready for work. He felt like he was part of something bigger, like he was on the same path as the successful people in those videos. But year after year, nothing changed. He was still in the same job, still talking about his dreams, still waiting for the perfect moment. One day, a friend asked him, "If all that motivation works, why are you still here?" That question hit him hard. He realized he wasn't actually applying anything he heard. He was addicted to the illusion of progress. Once he turned off the constant stream of videos and started building small daily habits, he finally saw results. This is why we need to be honest about motivation. It's not evil. It's not useless. But it's also not enough. The people you see in those videos, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, they didn't get where they are because they watched more motivational clips than you. They got there because they practiced relentlessly, failed repeatedly, and kept going when no one was clapping for them. They built systems, not playlists. And here's the ironic twist. If you actually do the hard work, you'll need less motivation over time. When you build habits, the habit takes over. You don't need someone to scream, "Don't quit," at you, because showing up becomes part of who you are. The strongest people are not the ones who constantly pump themselves up with motivation. They're the ones who can work even when they don't feel motivated at all. So the next time you feel the urge to watch another motivational video, pause. Ask yourself, am I looking for action or am I looking for a feeling? If it's just a feeling, step away and do something, anything, that moves your life forward. Even something small. Read 2 pages of a book that will teach you a skill. Do 10 push-ups. Write 1 paragraph. Send 1 job application. Real change starts small, but it compounds. Watching another video doesn't. Motivation should be the spark, not the substitute. Use it wisely. Don't let it become your crutch. The motivational industry wants you hooked on endless inspiration, but real freedom comes when you stop needing it and start building momentum yourself. And that's what Unhyped is here to remind you. We're not against motivation, we're against the trap. We're here to expose the cycle, to help you see through the hype, and to push you toward what actually works. Consistent, boring, powerful action. Because in the end, you don't need more motivational videos. You need more of your own story. The cycle of endless motivational videos is more than just a bad habit. It's a distraction from your real potential. And what makes it dangerous is that it feels so positive. No one feels guilty for watching motivation. In fact, people often convince themselves that they're working on their future just by listening. But if listening is all you do, you're not building a future, you're stalling. The reason this works so well on people is because motivation gives you a shortcut to feeling accomplished. It tricks your brain into thinking you've already taken a step forward. You hear a story about someone else's success and for a moment you imagine it's yours. You hear someone scream, "Don't quit," over dramatic music and it feels like you just conquered something. But when the video ends, nothing in your reality has changed. That's the illusion. And the longer you live in that illusion, the harder it becomes to face the truth. And here's another thing the motivational industry doesn't want you to realize. Most of the people creating this content are not successful because of the advice they're sharing. They're successful because of you. They make money from your views, your clicks, your endless replaying of the same speeches. They don't need you to change your life. They just need you to keep watching. And every time you hit play, you're fueling their success, not yours. Now, that doesn't mean the speakers themselves are all frauds. Some of them genuinely want to help. Some of them share real hard-earned wisdom. But once that wisdom gets chopped into highlight reels and recycled into hype videos, it loses its depth. It stops being a tool for growth and becomes a product for consumption. The only way to break this cycle is to flip the script. Instead of asking, "What video should I watch today?" ask, "What action can I take today?" Motivation should never be the main course. It should be the seasoning. If you need a little boost, fine. Watch a video. But don't stop there. Use it as fuel to power a single action, because that action, no matter how small, will do more for your future than 10 hours of motivational content ever will. Here's the practical truth. The people who actually succeed are usually not the ones watching motivation every day. They're too busy working. They're too busy failing, adjusting, and trying again. Success doesn't feel like a motivational video. Success feels like long hours, quiet progress, and years of effort that nobody sees. The highlight reel comes later. The grind is the part you live through in silence. Let me tell you one more story. There was a college student named Maya who spent years consuming motivational speeches online. She believed that if she listened enough, eventually something would click. But nothing clicked. Finally, she gave herself a challenge. No motivational videos for 1 month. Instead, she would spend that time learning a skill she'd been putting off: coding. The first week was tough. She craved that dopamine hit of inspiration, but little by little she started to build momentum. By the end of the month, she wasn't just inspired, and she was capable. She had something to show for her time. That's the difference between consumption and creation. Motivation gives you feelings. Action gives you results. And that's why the endless cycle of motivational videos is so toxic. It convinces you that feelings are enough. It tells you that hype equals progress. But hype fades. Progress lasts. So here's the challenge. The next time you're tempted to queue up another video, stop. Instead of pressing play, press start. Start on the task you've been avoiding. Start on the project you've been dreaming about. Start on the habit that actually matters. Because your life won't change because of the videos you watch. It will change because of the work you do. That's the message of Unhyped. Not anti-motivation, but beyond motivation. We're not here to sell you another rush of hype. We're here to remind you that the real power has always been in your hands. Motivation ends when the video stops. But discipline, consistency, and real action, that's how you rewrite your story. So stop living off borrowed inspiration. Stop watching other people's highlights and start building your own. Because your future isn't waiting in the next motivational video. It's waiting in the actions you take today.